The council chamber on Valora Prime had never been so loud. Dozens of alien species argued over a single question: what happened to Earth? Ambassador Jiwoo stood at her podium, watching the chaos unfold around her. For 3 months she had tried to explain. For 3 months no one listened. The screens above the chamber showed the same image they had displayed for 92 days. Earth's star system marked in red, no signals, no communication, no response to any message sent from the Galactic Council, just silence. Jiwoo pressed the button to speak again. Her translator device hummed softly as it converted her words into the common galactic language. She had given the same speech so many times that she knew it by heart. Honored council members, she began, keeping her voice steady. Silence does not mean death. Earth has not fallen. My government chose this blackout for strategic reasons that I cannot fully explain, but I assure you humanity still stands. Chancellor Vrexus rose from his seat. The Kelthran leader was tall and covered in dark scales that reflected the chamber's blue light. His voice boomed across the room without need for a translator. Strategic reasons? He said with a harsh laugh. Ambassador, your people have not sent a single message in 3 months. Not to allies, not to trade partners, not even to their own representatives scattered across the galaxy. This is not strategy. This is catastrophe. Several council members nodded in agreement. Jiwoo felt her stomach tighten. She had no proof to offer them. Earth had gone dark without warning, even to her. The last message she received from home was a simple order: trust us and wait. So she waited. And while she waited, the galaxy made plans. Far from Valora Prime, Commander Taeyong stood on the bridge of Sentinel-7, humanity's defense station at the edge of their territory. His crew worked quietly at their stations, monitoring the space around them. Everyone felt the tension. Commander, his communications officer, called out. 3 alien fleets are gathering at the border. Kelthran, Vorsian, and Helix forces. They are not hiding their movements. Taeyong studied the tactical display. Over 200 ships from 3 different species, all positioned just outside human space. They were waiting for something. Permission, perhaps, or just the right moment. Any word from Earth? He asked, though he already knew the answer. No, sir. Still nothing. Taeyong nodded slowly. His orders had been clear before the blackout began. Hold position. Observe. Do not engage unless directly attacked. Trust the plan. But what plan could possibly explain this? What could be worth 3 months of total silence while alien forces gathered at their doorstep? Sir, his tactical officer spoke up. Should we send a warning to those fleets? Let them know we are still here? No, Taeyong replied. If Earth wanted them warned, Earth would warn them. We follow our orders. Back in the council chamber, Chancellor Vrexus was presenting his proposal. A holographic map floated above the chamber floor, showing human territory divided into 3 sections. Each section was marked with the flag of a different species. The facts are simple, Vrexus said, pointing at the map. Human space has been silent for 3 months. No government responds. No military defense. No civilians communicate. Under galactic law, territory that cannot be defended can be claimed by those who will protect it. Jiwoo shot to her feet. Her translator struggled to keep up with her angry words. This is not abandoned territory. These are our worlds, our stations, our people. You cannot simply claim them because we chose to go quiet. Can we not? Vrexus turned to face her directly. Ambassador, show us proof of life. Show us one signal from Earth, one message from any human colony. Give us any evidence that your species still exists as an organized civilization. Jiwoo opened her mouth, then closed it. She had nothing. No proof, no evidence. Just her own words and the faith that her government knew what they were doing. The chamber fell silent as council members looked at her, waiting. Some faces showed sympathy. Others showed greed. All of them showed doubt. I cannot provide what you ask, Jiwoo said quietly. But I warn you, do not mistake silence for weakness. Do not assume that because you cannot hear us, we are not there. Empty threats, Vrexus said dismissively. He turned back to the council. I call for a vote. Should human territory be declared abandoned and available for protective occupation? Jiwoo watched in horror as hands, claws, and tentacles rose around the chamber. The vote was not unanimous, but it was clear. Humanity's territory was now considered fair game. Within hours, the 3 waiting fleets received permission to enter human space. Their mission was simple: secure strategic locations and establish new territorial claims. They expected no resistance. Tae-young watched them cross the border. His crew waited for orders to engage, but those orders never came. The alien fleets moved past Sentinel-7 without acknowledgement, heading deeper into human territory. "Commander," his sensor officer said nervously, "they are passing through the outer colonies. No signs of resistance. No defensive fire, nothing. What about the colonies themselves?" Tae-young asked. The sensor officer checked his readings twice before responding. His voice was uncertain. "Sir, I am not detecting any life signs. The stations are running on automatic systems, but there are no people. The colonies appear to be empty." Tae-young felt a chill run through him. Empty colonies. Automated systems, no people. Earth had not just gone silent. Humanity had disappeared. Inside the lead Kelthran warship, Admiral Kyung-soo studied the same readings with growing confusion. His scouts reported the same thing from every human settlement they found. Empty. All of them empty. Where did they go? His tactical officer wondered aloud. Kyung-soo did not answer. He was too busy watching his sensor displays. There were no human ships in sight, no defensive platforms, no mines or traps, just empty space and abandoned stations. It should have felt like victory. Instead, it felt like walking into a trap. As the three alien fleets pushed deeper into human territory, none of them noticed the small distortions in their sensor readings. None of them detected the quiet ships that watched from the darkness between stars. And far away, in a hidden location that no alien sensor could find, millions of humans waited. They had been training, building, preparing. Earth had not fallen silent because it was weak. Earth fell silent because it was getting ready to make the galaxy tremble. Admiral Kyung-soo had fought in 12 major battles during his career. He had commanded fleets against pirates, rebels, and rival empires. He knew what danger felt like. This was something different. This was worse. His fleet had been inside human territory for 6 days. In that time, they had found 17 abandoned colonies, 43 empty stations, and 0 humans. Every facility was intact. Power systems still ran. Life support functioned perfectly. But there was no one home. "This is not normal," his tactical officer said for the 3rd time that day. "Sir, entire populations do not just vanish. There should be signs of evacuation, ship traffic, supply runs. Something." Kyung-soo stared at the tactical display. 3 fleets had entered human space. His Kelthran force held the center position. The Vorsian fleet advanced through the northern sectors. The Helix ships claimed the southern regions. All of them reported the same thing. Empty space. Ghost colonies. "Send another message to the other fleet commanders," Kyung-soo ordered. "I want hourly updates on their positions and findings, and increase our sensor sweeps. If there is anything out here, I want to know about it." The officer nodded and turned back to his station. Kyung-soo did not tell him about the growing unease in his chest. A good commander did not share his fears with his crew. But the fear was there, and it was getting stronger. 2,000 kilometers away, hidden inside a debris field that used to be a mining station, Scout leader Minha watched the Kelthran fleet through her ship's sensors. Her vessel was small, barely, larger than a shuttle, and equipped with the most advanced stealth technology humanity had ever built. The aliens could not see her. Their sensors passed right through her position without detecting anything. She was a ghost in their machines. "Target confirmed," she said quietly into her communicator. "Kelthran flagship, 230 ships in formation. They are heading toward the Arcturus station cluster." "Copy that," a voice replied from somewhere far away. "Continue observation. Do not engage unless authorized." "Understood," Mina said. She switched off the communicator and returned her attention to the display. Her orders were simple: watch, record, wait. But she had another task, one that was not written in any official orders. Make them nervous, make them doubt, make them wonder if they were truly alone in this empty space. She checked her weapons systems. Everything was ready. On Valora Prime, Ambassador Jiwoo sat alone in her quarters. The council had adjourned for the day, but the damage was done. Human territory was being carved up while she watched, and there was nothing she could do about it. Her communication console chimed. She almost ignored it. Most messages these days were from other ambassadors offering sympathy or asking questions she could not answer. But something made her look at the screen. The message was encrypted with a code she had not seen in months. A code that only Earth Command used. Her hands shook as she entered her decryption key. The message was short. Ambassador Jiwoo, Earth stands. Continue your work at the Council. Trust the silence. More information will come when the time is right. Stay strong. That was all. No details. No explanation. But it was enough. Earth had not fallen. Humanity was still out there. And they had a plan. Jiwoo read the message 3 times, then deleted it. She stood up and walked to her window. Outside, alien ships moved through the station's traffic lanes. They had no idea what was coming. She smiled for the first time in 3 months. Back in human territory, things started to go wrong for the invasion fleets. Small things at first. A patrol ship lost contact with its squadron for 2 hours, then reappeared with no explanation. Sensor readings showed ghost contacts that vanished before weapons could lock on. Equipment malfunctioned at random intervals. Admiral Kyung-soo reviewed the reports with growing alarm. 17 separate incidents in 3 days. His maintenance crews found nothing wrong with the ships. His security teams discovered no sabotage. But the problems continued. "Sir," his communications officer called out suddenly. "We just received a transmission. It is addressed to you personally." "From who?" Kyung-soo demanded. The officer's voice was uncertain. "It says it is from humanity, but that is impossible. There are no humans in this sector." "Play it," Kyung-soo ordered. The main view screen flickered to life. A human woman appeared, wearing what looked like a military uniform. Her expression was calm, almost friendly. "Greetings, Admiral Kyung-soo," she said in perfect Kelthran. "My name is Scout Leader Minha. I wanted to introduce myself since we have been neighbors for the past week. You have been wondering where all the humans went. The answer is simple. We are right here. We have been watching you since the moment you crossed our border." Kyung-soo felt his blood run cold. The woman continued speaking. "Your patrol ship that lost contact? We disabled its communications for exactly 2 hours. The ghost contacts on your sensors? Those were us letting you know we are here. The equipment malfunctions. We could have destroyed those systems, but we chose not to. Consider it a professional courtesy." She leaned closer to the camera. "You came here thinking we were gone. You came here thinking our territory was undefended. You were wrong. We are here. We are watching. And we know everything you are doing. I suggest you discuss this with your superiors. Human space is not abandoned. It is simply waiting." The transmission ended. The bridge was silent. "Sir," the tactical officer said quietly, "what are your orders?" Kyung-soo could not answer. His mind was racing. They had been watched for a week. Everything his fleet had done, every movement, every scan, all of it had been monitored. The humans had not just disappeared. They had been hiding, waiting. "Contact the other fleet commanders," he finally said. "Send them the recording. We need to discuss our situation." But before his officer could respond, alarms began to sound throughout the ship. The tactical display lit up with warnings. Behind them, cutting off their retreat path, dozens of automated defense platforms were powering up. Weapons that should have been offline were now active and targeting their fleet. And in front of them, the space they had thought was empty suddenly filled with contacts. Ships appeared on sensors, hundreds of them dropping their stealth systems all at once. They had been surrounded for days without knowing it. The communications console came alive with a new transmission. This time it was a man's voice, calm and professional. "Attention all vessels in human space. This is Commander Tae-young of the Earth Defense Force. You have entered our territory without permission. You have violated our sovereignty. You now have 2 choices. You can attempt to fight your way out and discover what 3 months of preparation has built, or you can listen to what we have to say. Choose wisely. You have 5 minutes to respond." Admiral Kyung-soo looked at his tactical display. His fleet was trapped. The other 2 invasion forces were reporting the same situation. Surrounded. Outmaneuvered. Caught. Earth had not fallen. Earth had been planning, and now the trap was sprung. The Galactic Council chamber had never been more crowded. Every major species sent representatives. The minor species sent observers. Everyone wanted to see what would happen when Ambassador Jiwoo returned to address the council that had voted to divide her territory. Jiwoo walked to her podium with confidence she had not felt in months. Behind her stood Counselor Hagen, a diplomatic specialist sent by Earth Command. Together, they would reshape humanity's place in the galaxy. Chancellor Vrexus was notably absent. His political career had ended the moment his fleet returned with the truth. His replacement, a younger Kelthran named Torvex, watched Jiwoo with nervous respect. "Honored council members," Jiwoo began. Her translator was no longer needed. She had learned to speak the common galactic language during the long months of waiting. 3 months ago, you debated the fate of human territory. You voted to divide our worlds among yourselves. You sent invasion fleets into what you believed was abandoned space. Today I return to explain what really happened. She activated the chamber's main display. It showed Earth's military buildup during the blackout. New ships, advanced weapons, coordinated training operations. The council members watched in stunned silence. Earth chose silence for a reason. We wanted to test our place in this council. We wanted to see if our allies would offer help, or if they would try to take advantage. The results were clear. Within days of our silence, plans were made to claim our territory. Within weeks, fleets were mobilized. Within 3 months, you voted to abandon us. You failed the test. Several council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Others avoided her gaze entirely. But, Jiwoo continued, her voice softening slightly, Earth is not interested in revenge. We are interested in results. We learned that trust must be earned, not given freely. We learned that words mean nothing without actions to support them. Most importantly, we learned that we must be strong enough to stand alone. Because when we needed support, none came. Ambassador Torvin of the Asharan Collective rose to speak. He was known as a moderate voice in the council. Ambassador Jiwoo, your point is well taken. The council failed to support humanity in your time of apparent need. But what would you have us do now? The past cannot be changed. You are correct, Jiwoo replied. The past is done, but the future can be different. Counselor Hagen will now present Earth's proposal for a new galactic security framework. Hagen stepped forward. He was an older man with a reputation for building impossible alliances. He had spent his entire career preparing for this moment. Members of the council, he began. Earth proposes a new system of mutual defense. Species that join this framework will commit to defending each other's territory. In exchange, they will gain access to human intelligence networks and advanced defensive technology. We call it the Collective Security Initiative. The chamber erupted in discussion. Several species were immediately interested. Others were suspicious. The idea of giving Earth significant influence over security matters was concerning to many. But before the debate could continue, Chancellor Vrexus appeared at the chamber entrance. He was no longer a council member, but galactic law allowed him to address the body if he had critical information. He requested permission to speak. Jiwoo felt her stomach tighten. What was he planning? Permission granted, the council speaker said reluctantly. Former Chancellor Vrexus, you may address the council. Vrexus walked to the central platform. He looked diminished, his scales no longer reflecting light with the same confidence they once had. But his voice still carried strength. Council members, he began. I come before you not to defend my actions, but to warn you about Earth's. During my fleet's retreat from human space, my intelligence officers discovered something disturbing. Human scout ships have been operating in neutral territory. In your territories, they have been watching all of us without permission or notification. Earth has built a surveillance network that spans the entire galaxy. He activated his own display, showing sensor logs and intelligence reports. Several council members gasped as they recognized locations near their homeworlds. How can we trust a species that spies on its neighbors? Vrexus demanded. How can we grant them security authority when they already operate in the shadows? Earth talks about mutual defense, but they have been gathering intelligence on every species here without consent. This is not partnership. This is preparation for domination. The chamber exploded with angry voices. Several species demanded explanations. Others called for sanctions. The careful diplomatic work that Jiwoo and Hagen had built was crumbling. Jiwoo stood calmly at her podium, waiting for the noise to die down. When it finally did, she spoke quietly. Her voice cut through the chamber like a blade. Former Chancellor Vrexus is correct. Human intelligence operatives have been watching most of you. We have been gathering information. We have been monitoring communications. We have been tracking ship movements and resource transfers. And today I will tell you why. She activated her own display. What appeared made several council members go pale. These are intelligence reports from the past 6 months. Report 1. The Helix government has been developing biological weapons in violation of galactic law. Report 2. The Vorsian military has been funding pirate operations against trade ships from rival species. Report 3. A coalition of minor powers has been planning coordinated territorial expansion into protected neutral zones. She let each report appear on the screen for several seconds. The evidence was undeniable. Sensor data, communication intercepts, financial records. Everything was documented. Should I continue? Jiwoo asked. I have 47 more reports. Some involve weapons development. Others involve treaty violations. Several involve plans to attack neighboring species. Earth's intelligence network discovered all of this. And we could have used this information for our own benefit. We could have blackmailed governments. We could have sold secrets to the highest bidder. But we did not. She turned to face the entire chamber. We built our intelligence network for one reason: survival. Earth learned that we cannot trust words. We cannot trust treaties. We can only trust information. So yes, we have been watching you, and we will continue watching you. But unlike some species here, we use our intelligence to protect ourselves, not to conquer others. The chamber was silent. Several governments were frantically trying to assess the damage from the revealed intelligence. Others were calculating how to respond to this new reality. Councillor Heijin stepped forward again. His voice was calm and professional. Members of the Council, Earth's proposal still stands. We offer to share our intelligence capabilities with species that join the Collective Security Initiative. Imagine what your governments could accomplish with accurate, real-time information about threats to your territory. Imagine how much safer your people would be. Ambassador Torvin was the first to respond. He stood slowly, his expression thoughtful. The Asheran Collective wishes to discuss membership in this initiative. We believe transparency and shared intelligence serve the common good better than secrets and suspicion. One by one, other species began expressing interest. Some were genuine. Others were motivated by fear of being left out. But the result was the same. Within 2 hours, 17 species had requested formal discussions about joining Earth's security framework. Former Chancellor Vrexus watched from the back of the chamber as his attempt to undermine Earth backfired completely. He had exposed their intelligence network, expecting outrage. Instead, Earth had turned his revelation into a demonstration of capability and restraint. They showed the galaxy what they could do, then offered to share that capability with allies. It was masterful diplomacy, and it marked the end of his influence forever. As the session ended, Ambassador Jiwoo felt a sense of satisfaction. Earth had proven its strength. Now they were proving their value. The galaxy was learning that humanity offered both protection and partnership. Those who chose cooperation would benefit. Those who chose hostility would face consequences. But as she prepared to leave the chamber, alarms began to sound. Emergency broadcasts flooded the communication networks. Distress signals were coming from the galactic rim. Unknown attackers. Multiple colony sites under assault. Casualties mounting. The council chamber erupted in panic. Species with colonies in the affected regions demanded immediate action. Others called for military mobilization. But their forces were scattered. Their response would take days to organize. Ambassador Torvin turned to Jiwoo. His expression was desperate. Ambassador, your forces are the only ones positioned to respond quickly. Can Earth help? Jiwoo accessed her secure communication channel. Fleet Admiral Soman, we have a situation. Unknown hostiles attacking colonies on the rim. Can we respond? The response came immediately. Already en route, Ambassador. ETA to the attack zone is 4 hours. Earth will handle this. Jiwoo turned back to the Council. Her voice was steady and confident. Earth's fleet is already moving to intercept. We will protect those colonies. This is what partnership looks like. The galaxy was watching, and Earth was about to show them exactly what humanity had become. The colony on Epsilon Tertius had been burning for 3 hours when Fleet Admiral Soman's battle group arrived. The unknown attackers had hit fast and hard, destroying orbital defenses before anyone could respond. Evacuation ships fled the surface while enemy vessels pursued them without mercy. Soman studied the tactical display with calm focus. 17 enemy ships, heavy weapons, advanced shielding. They moved with precision and confidence. These were not pirates or rebels. This was a professional military force. "Commander Taeyong," she said into her communicator, "take your squadron and protect those evacuation ships. Do not let a single civilian transport get hit." "Understood?" "Understood, Admiral," Taeyong replied. His ships moved into position between the fleeing transports and the pursuing enemy vessels. "Scout leader Minha," Soman continued. "I need full intelligence on these attackers. Ship design, weapons capabilities, communication frequencies, everything already working on it," Mina responded from her stealth ship. "Give me 10 minutes, you have 5, Somin said. Then we engage." On Valora Prime, every screen in the Galactic Council chamber showed the same images, live feeds from news ships near Epsilon Tertius. The entire galaxy was watching to see how Earth would respond to its first real crisis since returning to prominence. Ambassador Jiwoo stood beside Ambassador Torvin, both of them watching the tactical displays with tension. This was Earth's moment to prove that their military strength was not just for show. They had to protect those colonies. They had to demonstrate that their promises of mutual defense were real. "The enemy ships have changed course," one of the news commentators announced. "They are moving to engage the human fleet directly. This will be the first combat test of Earth's new military capabilities." Back at Epsilon Tertius, Minha transmitted her intelligence report. "Admiral, these ships match no known species in galactic databases. The design is completely foreign, but I have identified their weapon systems and shield frequencies. Sending you the analysis now." Soman reviewed the data quickly. Strong shields, but they rotated on a predictable cycle. Heavy forward weapons, but weak side coverage. These attackers were powerful, but they had weaknesses. And Earth knew how to exploit weaknesses. All ships, she broadcasted to her fleet. "We are not matching their firepower. We are outthinking them. Tactics Plan Serpent 3. Execute on my mark." Serpent 3 was a formation designed for fighting stronger opponents. Instead of meeting the enemy head-on, the human ships would spread out and attack from multiple angles. Each squadron would target different weak points. The enemy would have to choose which threat to face, leaving themselves vulnerable to the others. Commander Taeyong positioned his squadron to the enemy's left flank. Other commanders took positions to the right and above. Soman's carrier group held the center, ready to adapt as the battle developed. "Mark," Soman said calmly. The human fleet moved as one, not charging forward, but flowing like water around the enemy formation. Taeyong's squadron fired first, hitting the enemy's shield gaps with precise beam weapons. Before the enemy could rotate to respond, another squadron struck from a different angle. The enemy ships tried to maintain formation, but the human tactics made that impossible. Every time they focused on one threat, another appeared from a different direction. Their powerful weapons struggled to track the fast-moving human vessels. Across the galaxy, military commanders watched the battle with growing respect. This was not the slugging match that most space combat became. This was surgical precision. The humans were not just fighting. They were conducting a tactical demonstration. "Enemy flagship shields are fluctuating," Taeyong reported. "They are overloading their power systems trying to keep up with our attacks." "Good," Soman replied. "Disable their weapons, but do not destroy the ship. I want intelligence from their systems. And I want survivors to question." "Understood, Admiral." Taeyong's squadron performed a synchronized strike that would be studied in military academies for years. 6 ships fired simultaneously at the enemy flagship's weapon arrays. The timing was perfect. The accuracy was flawless. Within seconds, the enemy flagship was defenseless. The rest of the enemy fleet broke formation and attempted to retreat. But human ships were already in position to block their escape routes. Soman opened a communication channel. "Attention unknown vessels. This is Fleet Admiral Soman of Earth Command. Your flagship is disabled. Your formation is broken. You cannot escape. I am offering you one chance to surrender. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded, or we will disable every ship in your fleet the same way we disabled your flagship. You have 30 seconds to decide." 27 seconds later, the enemy ships began shutting down their weapons. The battle was over. Total human casualties, 0. Civilian ships saved, all of them. Enemy vessels captured intact, 17. In the Galactic Council chamber, silence filled the room as everyone processed what they had just witnessed. Earth had not just won a battle. They had made it look easy. Their tactics were years ahead of standard galactic doctrine. Their precision was unmatched, and they had achieved complete victory without losing a single ship. Ambassador Torvin turned to Jiwoo. His voice was quiet but sincere. Your people have proven themselves today. The Asharan Collective formally requests membership in Earth's Collective Security Initiative. We wish to learn from your methods and stand with you against future threats. Request accepted, Jiwoo replied with a slight smile. Welcome to the partnership, Ambassador. Over the next hour, 6 more species formally joined the initiative. The demonstration at Epsilon Tertius had shown them that Earth's promises were backed by capability. Humanity could defend its allies. More importantly, humanity would defend its allies. Fleet Admiral Somin interrogated the captured enemy commander personally. The alien was from a species beyond charted space. They had been sent to test galactic defenses, to find weaknesses before a larger invasion force arrived. They expected divided, slow-responding forces. Instead, they found a coordinated human fleet that dismantled their attack in less than 20 minutes. Your people will not return here, Somin told the prisoner. Take that message back to whoever sent you. Tell them the galaxy is no longer weak and divided. Tell them we are ready. And tell them that if they come looking for a fight, Earth will give them one they cannot win. The captured fleet was eventually sent home with their warning. The message was clear. The galaxy had changed, and Earth had made sure everyone knew it. Months later, Ambassador Jiwoo stood before the Galactic Council one final time to present Earth's formal position on future galactic policy. The chamber that had once debated dividing human territory now listened to her with complete attention. Earth's silence taught us many lessons, she said. We learned that trust must be earned. We learned that strength must be demonstrated. We learned that words without action are meaningless. So here is what humanity offers to this galaxy. We will defend our allies. We will share our intelligence. We will stand as guarantors of security for any species that joins our initiative. But we will never again trust blindly. She paused, letting her words sink in. 3 months ago, you thought we were gone. You planned to divide our territory. You sent fleets to claim our worlds. Today, we stand before you stronger than ever. We have proven our capability. We have demonstrated our restraint. And we have shown that humanity deserves respect, not pity. The silence is over. But the galaxy would be wise to remember what happened when Earth fell silent. Because if we ever need to go quiet again, the entire galaxy will tremble. The council erupted in applause. Not all of it was sincere. Some species applauded from fear rather than respect. But the result was the same. Earth had reshaped galactic politics through strategic silence, military preparation, and flawless execution. Former Chancellor Vrexus watched from a civilian gallery, no longer part of the proceedings. His political career was finished. His legacy would forever be the man who tried to claim Earth's territory and sparked humanity's rise to power. History would not be kind to him, but for Earth, history was just beginning. Fleet Admiral Somin returned to Earth orbit with her fleet. The construction yards that had built humanity's new military were now being converted to civilian manufacturing. The emergency was over. Life could return to normal, but Earth would never truly lower its guard again. Scout leader Minha and her teams continued their work throughout the galaxy. The intelligence network grew larger every day. No major event would ever catch Earth by surprise again. The watching had become permanent. Commander Taeyong trained the next generation of human officers in the tactics that had proven so effective at Epsilon Tertius. The military that Earth had built during the silence would not be dismantled. It would evolve and improve, and on colonies throughout human space, civilians returned to their homes. Children asked their parents about the Great Silence, about the months when everything changed. The parents told them stories of humanity's patience, preparation, and ultimate triumph. Those children would grow up in a galaxy that respected Earth. They would live in a time when humanity was no longer seen as newcomers or junior partners, but as protectors and leaders. They would inherit a civilization that had learned the most important lesson of all. Fleet Admiral Somin had been planning this moment for 8 months. The communications blackout, the evacuation of frontier territories, the secret consolidation of military forces. Every piece of the strategy had been carefully calculated. Now it was time to show the galaxy what Earth had built. She stood on the bridge of the carrier Soul's Pride, watching the tactical displays with satisfaction. 3 alien fleets sat trapped in human space. Hundreds of human ships surrounded them. Automated defense platforms blocked every escape route. It was perfect. "Open a channel to all alien vessels," she ordered. "All frequencies. I want every ship to hear this." "Channel open, Admiral," her communications officer confirmed. Salmon took a breath, then began speaking. "This is Fleet Admiral Salmon of Earth Command. You came to our territory thinking we had fallen. You believed our silence meant weakness. You were wrong. Let me explain what really happened." She activated a display that would transmit to all the alien ships. It showed Earth, surrounded by construction facilities and shipyards. Thousands of vessels filled the orbital space. Every one of them was new. 3 months ago, Earth decided to test the Galactic Council. We wanted to see how our so-called allies would react if we appeared vulnerable. We shut down all external communications. We evacuated our frontier territories. We made ourselves look weak. And what did the Council do? They voted to divide our territory among themselves. They sent invasion fleets before our bodies were even cold. Admiral Kyung-soo watched the transmission from his flagship. Around him, his crew stared at the screens in silence. The human admiral continued speaking. "During those 3 months we were not hiding. We were building. Every resource in human space was directed toward one goal: military advancement. We built new ships. We developed new weapons. We trained our forces in tactics that the galaxy has never seen. We became stronger while you thought we were dying." The display changed, showing technical specifications: energy weapons, advanced sensors, AI combat systems. All of it beyond current galactic standards. Your fleets are now surrounded by technology you cannot match. Your ships are outgunned. Your sensors cannot track our stealth vessels. Your weapons cannot lock onto our defensive platforms. You are completely at our mercy. But here is what you need to understand. We are not interested in killing you. Salmon paused, letting that sink in. "We could destroy your fleets right now. Every ship, every crew member. But that is not who we are. We are not conquerors. We are defenders. So I am going to make you an offer." Commander Taeyong floated his own ship closer to the Kelthran flagship. His orders were clear. Show them what human precision looked like. Demonstrate the difference between raw power and tactical superiority. Target the automated platforms that the aliens started building, Somin had told him. Dismantle them piece by piece. Make every shot perfect. Show them that we fight smart, not just strong. Taeyong had spent years training for moments like this. His crew was the best in the fleet. Time to prove it. Weapons locked on target, his tactical officer reported. "Ready to fire on your command." "Fire," Taeyong said calmly. A single beam of blue energy lanced out from his ship. It struck a defense platform the Kelthran had deployed. The platform did not explode. Instead, its weapons array simply ceased to function. The beam had surgical precision, disabling the platform without destroying it. "Next target," Taeyong ordered. Another shot. Another disabled platform. Then another. Then another. In the span of 3 minutes, Taeyong's ship dismantled 12 defensive positions. Every shot was perfect. Every target was neutralized without being destroyed. On the Kelthran flagship, Admiral Kyung-soo watched in amazement. His own weapons could never achieve such precision. The humans were not just shooting. They were operating like a surgeon with a scalpel. Fleet Admiral Summon's voice returned to the transmission. "You just witnessed Commander Taeyong demonstrate our capabilities. We can disable your ships just as easily. But we will not. Instead, here is my offer. You will leave human space immediately. You will return to your governments. And you will deliver a message to the Galactic Council." The display changed again, showing a simple text message. It read, "Humanity has returned. We are stronger than before. We remember who stood with us and who tried to take advantage of us. Choose your next actions carefully." Admiral Kyung-soo made his decision quickly. He had no interest in testing human capabilities further. His pride was not worth the lives of his crew. He activated his own communications. Fleet Admiral Soman, this is Admiral Kyung-soo. I accept your terms. My fleet will withdraw immediately. We will deliver your message to the Council. Good choice, Admiral, Soman replied. We are opening a corridor for your departure. Follow the designated route and you will not be harmed. Any deviation from that route will be considered hostile action. Am I clear? Crystal clear, Fleet Admiral, Kyung-soo said. He turned to his crew, set course for home, maximum speed, and send word to the other fleets, tell them to withdraw as well. Within hours, all 3 invasion fleets began their retreat. They moved through the corridors that human forces opened for them. Not a single shot was fired. Not a single ship was destroyed. The message was clear. Earth did not need to kill to prove its strength. On Valora Prime, Chancellor Vrexus received the report from Admiral Kyung-soo. He read it 3 times, unable to believe what it said. Earth had not fallen. Earth had been preparing, and his own arrogance had walked his forces into a trap. His political career was over. He knew that immediately. The other council members would crucify him for this mistake. He had convinced them to declare human territory abandoned. He had sent fleets into what he promised was empty space. And now those fleets had returned with their tails between their legs, carrying a message that changed everything. Humanity was no longer a junior member of the galactic community. They had proven themselves capable of strategy, deception, and overwhelming force, and they had done it all while showing restraint. That last part worried Vrexus the most. A species that could destroy its enemies but chose not to was far more dangerous than a species that killed everything in its path. Back in Earth orbit, Fleet Admiral Soman watched the last alien ships disappear from her sensors. The operation had been a complete success. Not a single human casualty. Not a single shot fired in anger. Just a perfect demonstration of capability and restraint. But this was not the end. This was just the beginning. She activated her private communication channel. Scout Leader Minha, you are clear to continue your mission. Expand the network. I want eyes on every major species in the galaxy. The blackout is over, but the watching never stops. Understood, Admiral, Minha replied from somewhere in the darkness of space. The network is already growing. They will never see us coming. Soman smiled. Earth had learned its lesson. Never again would humanity be caught unprepared. Never again would they trust the galaxy to protect them. From now on, they would trust their own strength and their own vigilance. The silence was over. But the galaxy was about to learn that a watching Earth was far more dangerous than a silent one.